What is up, my fine peoples? This is my second shot at trying to do this video. I was rambling in my last one for 20 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep this short. This is the Hisense U8N 85-inch TV, and it is my favorite TV ever. I don't want to say ever. It's my favorite TV of the year. However, I am returning it simply because the LG C4 was finally on sale this week for $3,800, and then with a coupon, I was able to pick that up for $3,500 all in. And at that point, I was like, I gotta go for it. But this TV, man, I love this TV so much, and now I'm regretting returning it because the amount of performance you get out of this TV for the price is stunning. I paid $1,800 for this 85-inch Hisense U8N. $8,500, and the black levels on this TV are stunning. It took me like 3 or 4 weeks to dial in all the settings, but now I have the settings perfectly dialed in, and I am just amazed. The picture wows me every time I turn it on, and I don't know why I'm returning it, because I am going to be I'm nervous about returning it because I got the picture tuned to how I want it to be tuned. The colors are amazing on this. I love the brightness. It's going to be hard going back to that dimness of OLED brightness, but there is something about OLED, man. There just is. Like, I watch this TV during the day, I'm wild, I'm in love with it, and then I lie in bed at night and I'll watch a few minutes of my QD OLED, and I'm like, man, there's just something about an OLED. There just is. I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but there is something about an OLED that no mini LED can really touch. But this TV comes pretty darn close. Where this TV suffers is in the picture processing. The picture processing is where it's a little suspect sometimes, where basically if you watch 4K material on this TV and a lot of SDR, like Netflix looks great on this TV. Stuff like Netflix, if you're watching a high quality stream or like Netflix or something in HDR, everything looks amazing. Like I'm looking at the image on my iPhone, and this actually is pretty much exactly what I'm seeing in real life, like that deep level of blackness against the fireworks with very little bloom. Well, I guess that's blooming around the top portions, but not really, because if I remember correctly, I think that's how it was. The sky just really lit up like that around the fireworks. So I wouldn't even say that's blooming. But the black levels are just stunning on this TV. And again, I had to play around with the picture mode like 3 or 4 weeks to get it to this point. But now this TV looks so much better than a QD OLED. I love the picture quality. It's not oversaturating anything. The colors are just popping without overdoing it, and it's not as drab as, say, a LG OLED TV. Although I never had an issue with with the color volume on LG TVs, because I know how to juice it up to get to how I want it to. But I will never. You will never be able to get this level of brightness out of the OLED, or at least the C4. The G4, yeah, and brightness isn't everything. Let me just make that clear. Brightness is not everything, but there is a certain something. Like when you see a TV as bright as this, and you can get the colors and the black levels tuned in as well, this TV is something special with SDR content. My issue with the TV was there's two issues with this TV, and both related to HDR. HDR content, for some reason, I was using my 4K Blu-ray player, and it took me like a week to it took me a week to dial in that setting for like just regular HDR content. Once I got it dialed in, it was okay, but it was never anything that made me go wow for HDR. And you would think the HDR would make me go wow, but I don't think the HDR on this TV is as good as the SDR. Like if you watch everything in SDR on this TV and you get this quality, you don't necessarily need HDR, honestly. But I'm a purist. I want to have everything. If I'm buying the HD, I want the HD, I want the HDR, and I want the Dolby Vision, and I don't want to be artificially, turning those features off when I paid good money to get those features. But once I dialed in the HDR, it looks great and it looks good. It just doesn't make me go wow. Like when I'm looking at this SDR, at this 4K SDR video I shot, I'm like just blown away by how good the colors are, how sharp the picture is, the motion is clean. So all of that is really great. I can't really speak to the audio because I never test audio on these TVs. Like I said, these are my personal TVs. I don't buy TVs just to review them and return them. I'm just buying a TV that I want to keep for like several years. For several years. And if it wasn't for the LG C4 going on sale, this TV will probably be the one I would keep. This one or the TCL, or I would get the TCL QM8. The one thing I don't like about this TV, and the thing that I hate about myself, is the fact that I know this TV, I'm not getting the full amount of mini LEDs that I should have, that I feel like I should have on this TV, because the mini LEDs, the count on this TV is only 1600. And as a consumer, I should not know that. I should not want to know that this TV only has 1600 mini LEDs, while the 75-inch version has like 3000. And I'm like, wait a second, why does the smaller size have more demi zones than this than the bigger size? That's nonsense, especially when you know that the TCL has like the TCL QM8 1G has like 3500 demi zones, and you're like, ooh, 3500 demi zones, I want that TV in 5000 nit brightness versus this one that has 3000 nit brightness. So basically, sometimes having too much information f's you up. It screws you up. Honestly, it really does. So yeah, and here, let me switch video here. So anyway, I really enjoyed the heck out of this, and let me go back to some darkness. But I'm in awe with this TV. The Dolby Vision on this TV is really nice. I love the picture settings. The picture settings are pretty easy to understand, and is great because the picture settings work on all picture modes. So I have not run across any mode on this TV that grays out the font. Well, I take that back. If you turn on this intelligent scene option on your picture mode, then suddenly it starts locking out things. It locks out basic things like the ability to change your sharpness. But that's about the only thing it does block out is your ability to sharpen the picture. Everything else is still active. I like the fact that all the modes, no matter what picture mode you set, you're in, you have access to just about all your different functions, and it works out really well. The one key, I kind of want to do a settings video. The one key to get your inky blacks that I discovered in the last 2 weeks is that if you turn your HDMI dynamic range to limited, you will get these inky blacks. But if you turn it to full or auto, then you'll notice, you see the black level kind of goes up a little bit, but it's still a really nice black level. You're not getting raised blacks or lifted blacks. You're just getting, I don't know how to say it. You're not getting inky blacks. but the black level was still fine when you have it set to full or like auto. The black levels are still fine. But if you want your true, kind of quote unquote OLED level blackness, then you just go here. You just go to limit. Now, I do have a certain philosophical difference about the whole mini LED versus OLED thing. My thing is, unless you're saving thousands of dollars, I would just get an OLED. I would not get a mini LCD hoping that it's going to give me OLED quality. I just think that's kind of stupid. I'm not going to pay, $3,500 or $4,000. I'm not going to, if the price is the same between a mini LED and an OLED, you get the OLED every single time. I don't understand these people like spending $5,000 on a stupid Bravia 9 when you can just get an OLED for that same price or a lot cheaper. That's just nonsense. That's just been done with your money. But with this, I paid $2,200 for this TV. So at $2,200 versus $4,000, any sane person should just get the Hisense U8N or the TCL QM8. And what makes this TV so much better in my view is the fact that the TV, I paid like a total of like $2,100 all in, delivered, setup, all that stuff, $2,100. And then a couple of days later, it went up to like $2,900. So Best Buy and TCL are all over the place with the pricing on this TV, but that $1,800 price never came back. So this is why I always say, don't wait to Black Friday and hope you're going to get a deal, because more than likely these days with Black Friday pricing has been very disappointing in the last several years, and they weren't the cheapest prices of the year. They weren't. So, this TV on sale for $1,800. If you see that sale, I'll pounce on it. If you see this TV on sale for $1,900, it is well worth that money. Because again, it went back up to like $2,800 for a few days before dropping again to like $2,200. Then it went back up. Then it dropped to like $1,999. But I have not seen that $1,800 price come back in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, if you see a deal like that, there's absolutely no reason not to jump on it. Now, the one issue I have with this TV is, so SDR looks fantastic. HDR, I finally got it dialed in. I still don't think it's the best HDR I've ever seen, but it's serviceable, and it's not something that's going to make me go, ooh. But I do think the processing, I wish the processing was better. I don't think the AI processing on this TV works particularly well, so I actually had to disable it. Because it always looks like it's thinking. Like if you're watching something, it always looks like it's thinking and things are fuzzy till it's not, then it goes fuzzy again. So I think something's off about, I think there's something slightly off about that. And sometimes you're watching streaming content on YouTube or other services, and if it's a low bit rate thing, it doesn't do a great job upscaling that. But when it comes to watching 1080p content on your streaming services like a Netflix or a Max or any of that kind of stuff, I have zero complaints at all about that. It looks great. It looks sharp. It looks clean. Like yeah, there are times when you're watching it and you can kind of see some. Not everything in the world is posterization, but you do see like artifacts or whatever in the picture. And then my other major issue with this is the game mode. The game mode just functions weird. Like I'm in love with everything I see regarding SDR. I'm in love with the 4K stuff. But then you go to game mode and suddenly everything becomes weirdly, I don't know how to explain it. It's smeary. Like when you're in game mode, it's very smeary, and I can't get the contrast I have yet to figure out how to get the contrast correct, and it's kind of smeary and either over bright or smeary and dark. And it took me 2 weeks just to stop it from being dark, from being overly kind of dark, especially when you know the TV can get so much brighter, and there's no contrast. That pig really was driving me insane. Look how long it takes me to kill this stupid pig. You see, I'm going to blame the game. I'm assuming this is a bug. And why do I keep that? And why do I keep using my flame here? But I'm really into ghosts. I should have, now that I think about it, I should have just shot him with the arrow, called it a day. I was obsessed with trying to kill the pig with the knife. So anyway, but yeah, so the game mode, I just couldn't quite dial in the picture of the game mode to my liking. I got it to where I could play it, but it was never quite how I like my game mode to look. And with the TCL QM8, that just worked. And the thing is, I think I like the TCL QM8 more than this TV, but you know, I couldn't keep the TCL QM8 because it had those two really strong vertical band burning thingies right in the middle of the screen, and it just made the picture literally unwatchable, pretty much. So yeah, but my ranking would be TCL QM8 I love more than this, but the price of this, you know, you can't beat the price. I don't remember if the contrast is better on this TV than the QM8. Everyone's supposedly the QM8, this TV has better contrast, but I've never been one who even knows what contrast is, honestly. But yeah, and then the other thing that's annoying is the game bar on this TV doesn't really come up. You have to manually switch between inputs. Like basically, you turn on the device, and instead of just switching to the device, another menu button will come up in the top, and then you have to press the memory button on your remote for it to switch over, and that's kind of annoying because then, you know, I don't always have my remote in my hand, and if my remote is in my hand, not in my hand, then I missed that little menu button option, then I have to manually go in and switch the input. That's not a big deal, and it's not a game changer, and that's something that can be fixed with firmware. And again, my thing is, you know, I didn't overpay for this TV, so if you don't overpay for something, then you're more willing to put up with little annoyances. And this TV worked. It just worked, and it did almost everything very well, except, you know, there are some issues with the game mode, but again, it's $1,800, so I could live with it and hope for a fix. But yeah, this TV is well worth buying, especially if you can get it for $1,800. But honestly, I think if you could get any 85-inch of this quality for under $3,000, is something you should really pounce on if you really want like a nice big screen TV that checks all the boxes. I mean, this thing has ATSC 3.0 tuner. It has 2 dedicated HDMI 2.1 ports, which is amazing. And I hope more TV manufacturers start doing this, because it doesn't. If you have 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, that's fine. Just don't make one of those ports an ER port and then claim you have HDMI 2.1. Now you're wondering why I'm not trying to kill these people. These people are supposedly your allies because I killed them in a previous save, and then apparently I felt instant regret. I didn't regret anything because you see here, they tried to kill me. They just tried to kill me. So I was right in trying to kill them. But then it was like, oh my God, I killed allies. And, you know, oh, I'm supposed to feel sorry. But you see that? They just tried to kill me. So yeah. But I regress. Anyway, this is the Hisense U8N. Go get this TV. it's a solid TV. I I'm just not convinced game mode is workable on this TV yet. Like you could play it, it just looks kind of terrible, and I haven't been able to dial this in, despite 3 or 4 weeks of trying. But the one thing this TV also proves is, if a TV actually works, then I'm willing to keep it and just fuss with the settings. But if the TV is just a broken mess, then I'm going to return that TV right away. I'm not going to keep it because, this is my dedicated TV. But yeah, this TV is just so awesome. I really like it a lot and highly recommend it. Highly recommend this TV. I just hope there's a couple of patches to fix the game mode, to clean up the game mode and clean up the HDMI switching. Otherwise, it's great. And I'm very scared to get the C4 tomorrow. Like, I'm making a mistake, and I don't want to return any more TVs. So I'm hoping the C4 does not have any issues. If it doesn't have any issues, I will just keep it no matter what. Because for the most part, I like LG, I like OLED, so I'm not going to sweat the small stuff as long as the TV works and there's no banding or any of that kind of stuff. And as an aside, everyone always says I'm stupid and I'm crazy and I'm making crap up, but it's like every time, 3 months later, all the issues that I had with the TV, suddenly everyone actually recognizes and it gets patched. So it gets magically patched. Like when I had my LG G4 and I was talking about the HDMI port issue I was having, turned out that became a known issue that a lot of people were experiencing. And guess what? LG just fixed it a couple of weeks ago. So there you go. So I'm not lying, people. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Sorry for this rambling video. I really thought this would be a shorter video since overall I love this TV. I didn't think I would have much to say about it, but yeah, great TV. My next couple of videos are going to be some celebrity interviews I have that I should have posted like last year, and I think I talked about them before, but yeah, I got to get that stuff up. And then I'm going on a cruise. I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks, and I'll be doing some good travel videos from New York and in the cruise ship. But I probably won't post those videos until after I get back, because I'm not crazy. I don't let people know where I am when I'm there. I'm not that crazy. So anyway, talk to you guys later. Bye.